Okay, this week and today we're going to be solving two-step equations. Okay, the types of problems that you're going to see today on your assignment will look like the following. Okay, in this problem, your first step is just like last week. You're going to ask yourself what's being done to the variable. And the first step in solving these two-step equations is to isolate the variable. Isolate the variable, which means you're trying to get this alone on one side of the equal sign. All right? And in order to do that, what's being done to the variable right now? This a over 4 is having a 2 added to it. So the first step in this equation would be to subtract 2 from each side. When you subtract 2 from both sides, these 2's cancel out. And this a over 4 that you were trying to get by itself is now by itself, and it's on the left-hand side of the equation. And negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Now, by doing that first step, you've created a problem. A divided by 4 equals negative 5. And those are the type of problems you did all last week. So now the variable is being divided by 4, and you're going to do the opposite of that, which is to multiply both sides by 4. These 4's will cancel out. And you've got the variable by itself on the left-hand side now. So just this a is going to be equal to negative 5 times 4 would be negative 20. So there's your solution. Another type of problem that you'll see today is 3n plus 4 is equal to 19. First step is the same. You're trying to isolate the variable. You want to get this by itself. So if you're trying to get the 3n by itself, you would subtract 4 from each side. That cancels out the two 4's. And the 3n falls straight down, or falls down. And the 3n is going to be equal to 19 minus 4, which is 15. Now the variable is being multiplied by 3, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So you're going to divide both sides by 3. The 3's on the left will cancel each other out, and n would be equal to 5. All right, in this problem, the variable is on the right-hand side of the equal sign. but you're still trying to isolate this. This is having a 14 added to it, so the first step would be to subtract 14 from each side. The 14s cancel each other out. And negative 2 minus 14 is negative 16. And that's going to be equal to the 8 times n. The next step would be to divide each side by 8. So negative 16 divided by 8 would be negative 2, and that's going to be equal to n. These 8's cancel each other out. Anybody have any questions so far? How about 10 is equal to x over 4 minus 8? You're trying to get the x divided by 4 by itself or isolated. So you add 8 to each side. The 8's cancel out. And 18 is equal to x over 4. Multiply both sides by 4. Which will make these two 4's on the right-hand side cancel out. So 4 times 18 is 72. So 72 is equal to x. So those are examples of all the types of problems that you're going to see today. They're all two-step equations. In all the problems, you're going to isolate the variable in your first step, which turns the problem into a one-step equation. And then you're going to be multiplying or dividing in the last step, depending on what's being done to the variable. Does anybody have any questions?